I don't like the way the mountain rumbles these days. Makes me glad we're about to set sail and leave all this disaster behind us. I was planning on sailing to Sadrith Mora next, but I don't mind taking you to an Alliance capital. Trade is always good in the capitals. We're headed to Sadrith Mora, if that's where you'd like to go. Just...
How I long to see you smile.
Well, one more late ship is broken. Never work as hard as fell again.
What do you want?
I trust you're not here to waste my time. That would end badly for you. So Edrino finally came through, did she? And she sent you in her place, no doubt because she believes I will turn her into a Vardvak. Such nonsense. The things these commoners believe. I shall, of course, dock her payment for the late delivery. If you're lying, you do so remarkably well. If you're not, it is of no concern to me. You will receive the same coinage either way. Take it and be about your business. And tell Edrino that if she fails again, I shall locate another mushroom seller. And that concludes my deliveries for today. What an exciting life I lead. What?
Mind your step. I would not want you to step on this random patch of grass. I jest, of course. The Telvanni force me to work, but I make sure it brings them no pleasure. I see you wear no shackles. Do you seek work? I know someone who needs help. In truth, you would be helping many Saxhleel, myself included. During my latest escape attempt, I met an amber beauty with eyes like summer rain. Her Lukial name is Sun in Shadow, but I call her my heart. She hatches a plan to set us free. Seek her out in Tel Naga. If I know my heart, she will be sunning herself in the light of some book. Always reading that one, always learning. If all goes to plan, she will read her books beside me in the boughs of a hist. Soon, I hope. Walk with Sithis, my friend, and mind the Telvanni. They spin lies like an elder at the yarn wheel. I ventured too far from the hist and did not heed the bird signs. Dark elf slavers spine-hooked me near Thorn. I escaped 4 times, but never for long. Eventually the Telvanni bought me, at a discount I am told. I take pride in that at least. Laws are slippery things. The Ebonheart Pact outlawed Argonian slavery, but House Telvanni refused to join the pact. In truth, I cannot imagine how they would live without slaves. The Magisters are like overstuffed crocodiles, dangerous, but lazy. I thank you for your offer, but I tire of breaking free only to be recaptured a day later. Sun in Shadow's plan will earn us a lasting freedom. If you help her, you help me. Mages mostly. Members of the so-called Great House Telvanni. One of the 4 great houses of the Dark Elves. They love using that word, great. Great at ruining lives, perhaps. Yes, and Khajiit also. You see, for a Telvanni, life is nothing but a cheap struggle for mastery and control. Mastery of their dry-skinned magics, control of their mushroom towers, and dominion over people. People like us.
Yes, can I help you, Suryo? Bless his eyes. Yes, I'm Sun in Shadow. Ioki told you I have a plan to earn our freedom, right? It will require finesse and discretion. I trust that I can count on you for both. To earn my freedom, I need the help of Magister Theramer. Oh, yes. House Telvanni has its warts, but it's a true meritocracy. With enough guile and cunning, even a lowly slave can sit on the council. I've studied spellcraft since before I could lift a broom. All I need now is the sponsorship of a magister. Therana's been haranguing the council, trying to get their help in claiming Zane Tiraras from House Redrin. She wants something in that shrine. I aim to get it for her. Her mouth, Erevan Ontham, has a letter that contains the clues we need. Be cautious in the council house, Sarah. House Telvanni is not just some beast you can slay. In this place, subtlety will serve you better than any shield. We have to play the game. Ah, It was during one of his many escape attempts. I was cleaning Master Otheri's tableware when Ioki burst through the kitchen door, dragging his chains behind him. He threw open the window and started to climb through it. Then he hesitated, even smiled. You don't see Mars slaves smile much. Certainly not when they're being chased by Nyx hounds. They dragged him off and threw him in the dry box. He told me he'd spend a year in there if it meant seeing me again. There's an old alchemist's proverb. No reaction is ever so forceful as the mixing of opposing components. A mouthful, I know, but it fits. Ioki and I occupy different poles on the same spear. He keeps me grounded. I keep him safe. Truthfully, it doesn't. Not yet. Telvanni plots take time to develop. If I demand Ioki's freedom too early, I show my hand. Suddenly, he's a valuable piece in the game. Moved and sacrificed. Do I sense a rebuke? It's not ideal, I know. Look, I treasure Ioki. He's placed his trust in me. I hope you'll do the same.
Your hands where I can see.
And who might you be? Master Erevan is away on business. Has been for some time, in fact. I know a prowler when I see one. What do you want? No one just wanders into a council mouth's office looking around. I should report you. What are you really after? And do be honest, we've already wasted enough time here. Ah, the one about Zane Tiraris, is it? Well, I could call the guard and be about my day, but I am a Telvanni after all. We don't turn away an opportunity when it presents itself. Perhaps you could help me with a problem I've run into. It's a matter of literature, or lack thereof. I wrote a poem, you see, a cloying, drunken mess of a poem. The post delivered it to my darling Aethra Dora just this morning. If you get it away from her, the letter is yours. She spends most of her time in the study, here in the council hall. She's very diligent, always leaning over one book or another. And the way she licks her thumb when she turns the pages. Sorry, you'll find her in the study, yes. The poem's terrible. Plus, if word got to my parents that I'd been courting a wood elf, I'd be written out of the will, repeatedly, with red ink. Then there's also the possibility of blackmail. Why do you think Aethra Dora keeps it on her? She knows that if Master Erevan gets wind of this, he might dismiss me from his service. Clever minx. Working for a council mouth is a fine occupation, Fla. I can't risk losing it. She's such a pretty, dainty thing. Not at all like those other scrawny Acorn elves. Add a half bottle of Shane to a lusty heart, and you wind up with some very poor decisions.
attempt at thievery? That's distressing. I swore I brought that with me.
I hope this is good news. Well? Well? Did you... Quick! Give it here! Phew, what a relief. All right, Fla, I'm going to burn this embarrassment. I sure hope I didn't leave Master Erevan's correspondence box unlocked. That would be careless in the extreme. Farewell. Good riddance to bad writing.
What do you want?
Oh, I think we should execute criminals on sight. But my captain won't allow it. He wants your bounty. Fine. Now get your stink away from me.
There you are. I was afraid you'd been compromised. Were you successful? Did Anthem have anything worth reading? May I? Ah, a saint's relic. Saint Films. Never heard of him. Says here the Redoran want it too, to squirrel away in some musty old chapel, no doubt. We need to make sure Thorana gets it before they do. Looks like the shrine is locked, protected by some puzzle ward. Luckily, the letter provides some hints on how to break in. Solve the puzzle, grab the relic, then make haste to tell Barana. Thorana should be there. Offer her the relic on my behalf. Somewhere between certain and apprehensive. The Telvanni respect all clever schemes and love to barter. This little intrigue will prove my worth, I know it. Then again, she could just try to take the relic by force. Run? Telvanni magisters wield magics that put Giulianos to shame. Of course, you're quite the hero in your own right. Hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Sarah, please, a moment. What a stroke of luck. You're a warrior, yes? Of course you are. I need your help, Sarah. All is not well in Martus Arkin. Husbandry run amok. Our chief breedsman, Drovos Nelvain, created a new genus of Quama. They've proven to be very aggressive and impossible to control. When I advised caution, Drovos nearly killed me. Called me an intellectually stunted poltroon. Drovos managed to create a royal queen egg. If the egg hatches, our native Quama will be wiped out. He's gone mad, Sarah, and all of Vardenfell may pay the price. I need you to destroy this egg, white out the scribs in waiting, and deal with Drovos. I hate it's come to this, but Drovos forced my hand. Quama husbandry is a delicate science. Introducing a belligerent expansionist breed like this? It's madness, pure and simple. We can't take the risk. They're unique. Selective breeding's nothing new in the egg trade. Some breedsmen focus on increased yield, while others focus on strength and longevity. Drovos wanted the best of everything. A combination of classical breeding and alchemy. Mad science, if you will. No one doubts Drovos' brilliance, but his methods are ghastly. Guiding a species towards specific traits takes years of work. Generations. But that's too slow for Drovos. Unnatural? Emphatically yes. Nature couldn't produce Quama like this, not without gross interference. I can't stress this enough. If this breed spreads beyond Martus Arkin, we are in for an environmental catastrophe. Yes, I suppose we rushed right past introductions. I'm Raidenar Devani, sub-Tamrielic naturalist. I oversee mining practices for House Lari, ensuring that the Quama aren't exposed to undue risk from disease, starvation, or parasitic infestations. They were promising at first. Quama are hardy creatures, but they still fall prey to the droops and parasitic mites. It's not unheard of to lose entire colonies to disease. Breeding in resistances made sense. It was a mistake, clearly. Drovos possesses a keen intellect, but no restraint. Too much Telvanni in him, I suspect. He has no allies, no official connections, only the work. In truth, this isn't his first transgression. He's been a penstroke away from death more than once. They don't know what he's done, and there's no time to tell them. The new queen could hatch any minute. Drovos also hired a company of mercenaries to protect him. Small-minded ruffians called the Rumble Guard. They're the brutes that chased me out.
door is open! Open at last! Hee hee hee!
Oh, excellent. Another clumsy adventurer bumbles into my home. I really must put a hex on that lift. Have you come to rob me? That would go very poorly for you. Sun in Shadow. Oh yes, I know the lizard. An enterprising young mage, if memory serves. Don't look so surprised. Her magical abilities are the worst-kept secret in Sadrith Mora. What does she want? I hope you bring more than boring salutations. Do you now? Well, she's a clever one, isn't she? Even convinced you to do the work for her. Impressive. So, what does our scaled friend want in exchange for this relic? No. Give me a moment. I'm keen to guess. She wants her freedom, right? Oh, good. I was afraid she'd do something boring with her freedom, like run off into the marsh to worship trees or some such. Sun in Shadow shall have my endorsement. I'll give you a writ. Deliver it to my mouth, Erevan. He'll know what to do. There, that should be sufficient. Now, take that writ and be off. I have a relic to study.
What do you want?
Do you need something? I'm rather busy at the moment. Oh? Let me see that. Submit to council. Argonian slave freed, services to House Telvanni. Well. I've always known Sun in Shadow to be ambitious, but this is quite the master stroke. I shall take this to the council and send for her. Feel free to wait in the council chamber. We will rule on this matter soon. One other thing. Some of my personal correspondence went missing recently. If that ever happens again, the Morag Tong will hear of it. I trust we understand each other. I'll give this to the council.
I've imagined this moment since I was a hatchling. I knew I'd be free eventually, but now that the moment's here, I just hope I don't embarrass myself. They'll deliberate, needle each other a bit, then set me free. I only hope that they'll take me on as a hireling as well. I'll even get my own quarters. Can you imagine that? Not only my own room, a whole house to myself. My heart is racing. Yes, of course. I mean, eventually. We can talk about that later. Just let me bask in this moment. Truly, I couldn't have done this without you and Ioki. A plan is only as useful as the people who carry it out. You have my deepest thanks, Sarah. Now, I suppose it's time.
Well, well. What brings a slave to our audience chamber?
I bring tidings from my august patron, Magister Thorana. She would have your masters know that this slave, Sun in Shadow, has earned her favor.
What? Magister Thorana would lend her good name to this thing? Preposterous.
Larsa, don't be as tiresome as your master.
Can we move this along, please?
Very well. Magister Thorana, by right of rank, demands that the slave girl, Sun in Shadow, be freed from her bonds and raised up to a hireling of the great House Telvanni. She belongs to Magister Otheri, does she not?
Indeed. My most beneficent patron, Magister Otheri, acquiesces to Magister Thorana's demands. He is confident that Thorana will remember this kindness in the future. Sun and Shadow, you are hereby freed and lifted up to the rank of hireling.
My most majestic patron, Magister Gothrin, warns you all. Lift up one of these beasts, and 1,000 more will follow. This is folly.
If there's nothing else, I have urgent business in Telmora.
You've done well, girl.
Hist bless you, my friend. Sun in Shadow's tail quivers with joy and her heart leaps over the moons. I have never seen her so happy. At last, she can roam free and read her books in peace. I erect the spine of gratitude. Yes, I garden like a caterpillar, one leaf at a time. Even so, I accomplish more in one day than these dark elves do in a week. But my words wander. I bring news from my heart. She wishes to see you in her new dwelling place. Indirectly, my Sun in Shadow leaves nothing to chance. She must climb to a higher branch on the Telvanni tree, one she calls Retainer. Once she claims this title, she will set me free. So I plant myself like a sapling and wait.
Ah, love. How cruel the fates that keep me from my heart's desire and force me to lock away my true feelings. Chains bind my heart. Yet oh, what does an outlander know about the complexities of Dunmerry love? But you're only trying to help, and maybe I do need a simpler perspective. How does an outlander convince an overbearing mother that the object of their affection is worthy? Of course not. Tywin is a slave. My mother's slave. I tried to buy her freedom. Her mother laughed at the mere suggestion that I'd be allowed to sully our reputation with a noir bride. Perhaps an outlander's offer wouldn't rouse her suspicion. I don't expect you to pay, obviously. It's just that Mother might reveal what it would take for her to release Tywin if it was anyone but me asking. Knowing that might give me some idea of how to free my love. It couldn't hurt to ask, could it? Tell her you've heard Tywin excels at finding Red Star shells. Telvanni wizards prize them, and they're very rare. Most of the locals know that Tywin is the best at finding them. Mother loves to gloat. I couldn't bear gazing upon Tywin since Mother rebuked me. But now, I can't wait to see her lovely face again. I'll be down at the swamp where she hunts shells. Come find me once you've finished dealing with Mother. She'll be...
Welcome, Sarah. Sorry about the mess. Believe it or not, this place feels like a palace compared to my old slave quarters. With any luck, I won't stay here long. I've hatched a plan that might catapult me to the rank of House Retainer. I'm glad you asked. Retrieving scrolls and relics, gathering up roots and mushrooms. That's what the Magisters expect from hirelings. Trust me when I say nothing stunts advancement like doing the expected. Real estate. Surprised? Good. Master Firith's been making secret inquiries, looking for land near Voss. Ioki knows a farmer who may be willing to sell his plot. If I purchase the deed and give it to Firith, he might sponsor my next promotion. I know I could count on you. Here's the gold. I'll not pay a drake more than what's in that pouch. Mostly because I don't have a drake more than what's in that pouch. Ioki can provide more details. Or you can just ask around Voss yourself. Fantastic! I bought new clothes, see? And no more sharing a room with 8 other people. This space belongs to me. It's mine. Best of all, I can stop hiding. I don't have to tuck my tomes under blankets or hide scrolls in my bodice. I can just be. Of course, everyone works for the Magisters in one way or another. Hirelings occupy the lowest rung on the ladder. Aside from slaves, of course. But we can earn a wage and study in peace. We can even refuse a task if we wish. It's remarkable. I enjoyed more freedom than most, it's true. Most of the Marshborn slaves hated me for it. Called me Smokescale, Elfheart, and much, much worse. But that's all behind me now. I won. I harnessed my ambition, served my masters with loyalty and discretion, and earned my freedom. They whine like belly-sick wars and rot in chains. It doesn't get any clearer than that. I told you before, these things take time. I can't simply buy him because hirelings aren't allowed to own slaves, and I can't just set him free without jeopardizing my position in the house. This requires patience and an overabundance of caution. Archmagister Otheri. None of the other magisters would have him. Too many escape attempts. Then there's the matter of magical aptitude. The Telvanni abhor hist magic, and make him wear suppression manacles all the time, even when he sleeps. Doubtful. Hist magic doesn't operate by the same rules as Telvanni spellcraft. I think that's why the Magisters hate it so much. I can't say for certain, but I doubt there's anything in Ioki's repertoire that could get him out of Sadrith Mora. From what I gather, he wants to build a new tower there. I've no idea why. Mistress Drafa essentially owns Voss, and I can tell you she does not welcome intruders. If I was mad enough to antagonize one of the Magisters, it would not be Drotha. I only need him to survive long enough to sponsor me. He won't break ground on his tower anytime soon. Plus, there's a rumor that Drotha suffers from some mysterious illness. It could be Firith's doing. You never can tell with the Telvanni.
Yeah.
Keeping myself busy here.
Greetings. We must speak quickly. The overseers grow nosy and suspicious. I do. Otheri banished me to those farms for a time. I spent 30 days in the dry box and heard many things. A salt rice farmer named Barris Rendo grumbled like a sick crocodile. His wife called Voss a backwater sty. He would sell. Why do you ask? She gave you gold? I thought... My heart told me that she gathered coin to purchase my freedom. She probably seeks to parlay this into an even greater sum. I trust her judgment, even if I do not fully understand it. Good luck, my friend.
Ah, another adventurer. If you've come looking for salt rice, you'll have better luck in the market. A slim harvest, you know, and we're a bit short-handed at the moment. My son, Sathan, has gone missing, you see. You haven't run into, wouldn't I? I gave up work as a financier in Balmora for a chance at the simple life. I love it here. But my wife, she struggles with the agrarian life. Yes, in an instant. Like I said, Nineveh's practically packed her bags already. If you bring back our boy, we'll sell. Sathan's always been a thrill-seeker. Probably got lost in that Daedric ruin, Esutanimus. It's called Esutanimus. Sathan's taken an interest in Daedric history. A waste of time if you ask me, but I do admire his enthusiasm. We spoke about the shrine just a few days before he vanished. Apparently it venerates that monster, Molag Bal. I don't go anywhere near that place. We've got enough troubles here. Lean harvests, clumsy Telvanni wizards, my wife hen-pecking me to death. No, I'll not invite some plague from the House of Troubles as well. Thank you, Soyo. Be careful, and 3 protect you. Well?
Don't tell my brother I'm here. He prides himself on his cooking, but he's made this resolution to not eat meat. Ugh, can't stand it.
What?
One more day, that's all I ask. Lane and Manuel must have to save this place.
Where is it? Where is she? Not again! Hey, over here! Someone without wings and razor-sharp teeth. There's a sight for sore eyes. That's me, Sathan Rendo, explorer extraordinaire. My parents are worried. Typical. My mother barely trusts me to push a broom, let alone investigate a ruin. Of course, things could be better. I've attracted the attention of some winged twilights. Every time I try to make my escape, they swoop down on my head. Not to hurt me, mind you. They just sort of tussle my hair with their claws and push me back into the ruins, cooing all the while. I think they see me as some kind of pet. A daring escape. You'll have to slay them, eh? Pity. Of course, I did see them tear an Ashlander apart as he wandered by, so I won't shed too many tears. I'll make a run. The matriarch is coming! Be careful! I'll run straight back to Voss!
Yeah.
You came after me? You're getting as bad as Mother. I'm not a child.
Believe me, I'd rather be bagging our crop. You know how your mother is. You won't give me a moment's peace.
Fine. I just need a breather.
There you are. Sorry to check up on you. I knew you had the situation well in hand, but Nineveh practically kicked me out. Said not to come back without Sathan. Attracted the attentions? Never mind. I don't want to know. I'll miss this place, but Vec knows I'm not much of a farmer. I'm just glad I got to thank you in person. Your partner, Myrtis, already paid me for the deed to the property. What? Oh dear. The fellow was very convincing. Caught me right before I set out to find Sathan. He wasn't much of a conversationalist, just paid me a hefty sum of gold and snatched up the deed. He set out toward Voss once we finished the sale.
You mean to spend some time in Voss? I wouldn't linger if I were you. You don't have scales or fur, so you should be safe for a time. But if Savarak and his lackeys smell a whiff of danger on you, they'll put a knife in. The new wizard magistrate. When Mistress Dratha fell ill, House Telvanni put Savarak in charge of Voss. It was all honey and orchids for a time, but not anymore. The people are desperate for Dratha to return. Openly? No. Some work against him in secret, but he sicks his black snail mercenaries on anyone who opposes him publicly. Don't believe me? Ask him yourself. He covets Telmora Tower, but until Dratha dies, he holds court in the Gathering House. Keep your wits around Savarak. He's slippery as a slaughterfish, and twice as deadly. He's a member of House Telvanni, like Mistress Dratha. Mistress Dratha is powerful but reclusive. Savarak's a little more ambitious. Technically, yes. Luckily, Mistress Dratha's mouth, Lane Sadri, has been working against him in secret. We're lucky to have her. Savarak can sniff out a conspiracy like a Nixox sniffs out truffles. Without Lane, we'd probably be dead already. She's one of the oldest, most powerful Telvanni counselors and the ruler of nearby Tel Mora, the great fungal tower just across the river. She ruled Voss and lands beyond until she fell ill. Some people think it's just old age. I'm not so sure. 1,000 times yes. Our mistress has a mixed reputation. Outsiders often say she is cold and calculating. That may be, but I don't mind. She cares for us from a distance, intervening only when necessary. She respects our freedom. We pray for her recovery every day. If Dratha dies, I fear that Voss will die with her. He's a member of House Telvanni, like Mistress Dratha.
Ah!
Have you also come to do a bit of trading? If you love gold and rumors as much as I do, you'll love...
Business was better when Mistress Dratha held sway. But enough politics, eh? What can I get you?
is the deed, Lady Jinrisa.
Good. Deal with any loose ends.
Well, if it isn't my favorite loose end, time to tie it off.
Back so soon? Well, you're quite the negotiator. I trust you found a suitable property outside Voss. Jinrisa. Interesting. That envious hag never misses an opportunity to stick a thumb in Firith's eye. Listen carefully. I need you to acquire that deed as quickly as possible, before she makes it public that she's bought land near Voss. I suggest you use all available means. You can begin by searching the Adepts' Hall in Tel Naga. I will warn you that the Adepts' Hall is not open to outsiders. You'll need to be careful while searching for the deed so as not to raise suspicion. Jinris has offered us a chance to double our winnings. If we acquire the deed and embarrass her in the process, Firith's bound to support my promotion.
Lazy vermin. If you want to eat this week, work.
Yes, mistress.
Well, get to it.
Yes, mistress. Sorry, mistress.
You there. Wait for a moment, if you would. Pardon the interruption. I've been looking for you. Not me. But I have something for you. A letter. Confidential. Private. I have it here somewhere. Ah, yes. Here it is. Interesting. I'm also supposed to extend a verbal invitation to visit the lighthouse. Odd that they didn't just put that in the letter. Yes, the Anvil Lighthouse, just up the way. The sender ordered me to direct you there after I handed over the letter. I'm glad I found you. After looking for the woman with the eye patch all day, I figured I was in for late night. Emily Crow? Do you know her? I gave her a letter right there on the Anvil docks. I have no idea where she went in such a hurry, but she seemed excited to receive it. Anyway, I have more deliveries to make before I can rest for the day. Farewell. The gods keep you.
Come closer and let me look into your eyes. No remorse, no mercy. Yes, you do have the eyes of a killer. How many lives ended looking into those eyes? Nothing to say? I can appreciate that. I am a speaker for the Dark Brotherhood. I speak with the voice of the Night Mother. We have been watching you. You can deal death, but you lack purpose. We can change that, if you are willing. Silence is the music of Sithis, so perhaps you will serve us well. But first we need to determine if you are worthy to join the Dark Brotherhood. You take lives easily enough, and we know that you can kill. Now, show us that you can also obey. Splendid. We shall see how well you marry business with death. But first, allow me to present you with a gift. I shall teach you how to call upon a particular tool of our trade. I grant you access to the Blade of Woe, sharper than any other dagger you have at your disposal. It shall be your weapon, just as silence is your armor. Wield the blade from the shadows and let its edge send your prey to Sithis. In return, I expect only unwavering loyalty and ruthless efficiency. Now, let us discuss the task before you. A killing that shall form a covenant between us, signed in blood. The Imperial noble, Lord Quintus Gerol, has been marked for death by the Black Sacrament. Your task is simple. Find Gerol and kill him. That isn't a question we ask. Suffice to say, he offended someone enough to get them to perform the Black Sacrament. The Night Mother heard the prayer, and now Gerol must die. This is the task I have set before you. Excellent. The noble's estate can be found northwest of Anvil along the Gold Road. How you perform the execution is up to you. Just make sure Lord Quintus Gerol dies by your hand. Then your initiation into the Dark Brotherhood will be complete. Our unholy matron and the one true bride of Sithis. We are her children, forever wrapped in her cold, loving embrace. There will be time enough for more questions after you complete the task before you. Just know that she watches you. She loves you, as she loves all her children. The Black Sacrament is the ritual by which a client procures the Dark Brotherhood's services. Using an effigy of the intended victim, the client pleads for the Night Mother to send an assassin to end the specified life. With no remorse, no regret. To put it simply, yes. The lives of the innocent and the guilty alike are ours for the taking. And every soul goes to Sithis, as long as the price is paid. Death is our craft, our religion, and our trade. And business, as always, is good. The Blade of Woe is the ebony dagger of our brotherhood. It is a single weapon, unique and powerful in the right hands. When one of our brothers or sisters needs the blade for a kill, it appears to help carry out the assassination. To put it simply, yes. The lives of the innocent and the guilty alike are ours for the taking. And every soul goes to Sithis, as long as the price is paid. Death is our craft, our religion, and our trade. And business, as always, is good. The wise traveler asks for directions before the path diverges. Never hesitate to rely on your fellow Brotherhood members once you complete your initiation. I assume you want to know what awaits you at the noble's estate? Killing requires few special skills, but reaching your target? That's the real task, isn't it? High walls, locked gates, and armed patrols protect the estate. There is another way to reach the estate grounds, if you're interested. A series of smuggler tunnels runs beneath the withered rose and leads directly to the estate's courtyard. That's the route I would take. And don't forget to bring lockpicks. Gerol is a cautious man. The Withered Rose? A small hostel outside the city. Our lovely mother and daughter own the place, but they've had trouble making ends meet. The smuggler tunnels provide them with an alternate source of income, and they're perfect for your needs.
did not want to call the guard, but you forced my hand.
Someone's in here.
Seriously, Quintus. I appreciate you providing a safe place for our meeting, but couldn't you have straightened up a bit before we got here?
My apologies, Governor Fortunata. But there's no safer place south of Varen's Wall than right here. Vermin notwithstanding.
I don't know, Fortunata. This place seems to suit you.
That's no way to speak to your betters, Count Carolus. Speaking of which, when are you going to finally turn Kvatch over to a proper ruler? Your people deserve so much greater than you.
My lord and lady, please. We have a more pressing concern, and it affects us all.
Careful, Quintus. I won't be spoken to in such a manner. But you're right. The Dark Brotherhood grows stronger and threatens everything we've built here.
Victims been suspected members of the Dark Brotherhood? Perhaps if we do nothing, this murderer will solve our problem for us.
I refuse to allow a vigilante to freely stalk the streets of my city. That is why I allowed Artorias to expand the Order of the Hour's authority.
If I didn't know better, I'd think Artorias were building an army. Should I be worried, my dear Count?
Assurance that the Order will return to the Cathedral once this threat is resolved.
Primate Artorias gave me his word, and I give you mine.
And why should I trust either of them, Quintus? What good is their word when I find the order at Anvil's walls?
That won't happen, Yukibara. We're not as ambitious and ruthless as you.
Despite his holy station, our whole field.
Intruders have penetrated the estate. We need to move the three of you immediately.
Be prepared for any contingency. Commander, secure the halls. Make sure no one follows us.
Of course, my lord. We'll find the intruders.
Show yourself, assassin! Or are you another one of those Brotherhood cowards who prefers to strike from the shadows?
We know that Quintus Gerol is dead. The Brotherhood has eyes everywhere. You have done well. The Covenant is sealed, signed in blood. Welcome to the family, brother. We have been watching you for a long time. Killing the nobles simply sealed our covenant. Now you need to meet your brothers and sisters. I will send you to a sanctuary, a safe house of sorts, a home, as well as a source of additional contracts. Not far. It's the reason I summoned you to the Gold Coast. There is much work to accomplish here, and you will be a part of that. Your new home lies to the north, hidden beneath Varen's wall. Go there, and attempt to open the Black Door. The Black Door will pose a question. What is the flavor of fear? Reply, sublime, my brother, and the sanctuary shall be open to you. Once inside, seek out Astara. She has additional instructions for you. Of course. Since the formation of the Dark Brotherhood, our shadow has stretched across the entirety of Tamriel. Not every sanctuary has flourished, however, and our grip isn't as secure as we'd like in certain parts of the world. Not that it concerns you, but Vardenfell continues to be a source of irritation. The Gold Coast, however, presents an opportunity we can all profit from. Here we can establish a foothold that will serve the Brotherhood for generations to come. I am the voice of the Night Mother. She conveys her will to the listener, who then passes it on to one of the 4 speakers of the Black Hand to carry out. The Black Hand, the instrument by which the Night Mother rules the Dark Brotherhood. It consists of 1 listener and 4 speakers. 4 fingers and a thumb. Never more, never less. The Black Hand oversees the sanctuaries, among other duties. Just a little business I had to attend to. I do like to keep my dagger sharp, as it were. Her family had certain documents and presumed to make allegations that might have embarrassed the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood isn't that petty, but we do have certain obligations to uphold. I gave her the greatest gift of all, solace. Just as you gave the same gift to Lord Jarrell. And there will be many more gifts to grant before your work is done.